So let's just start by coming to seated. If you want, you can be, I like to sit a little bit up on a blanket. If you wish, you can do the same. And let's just start by letting our hands come to our knees, letting our eyes gently close. And just take some nice, deep cleansing breaths here, taking all of your attention and letting it turn inwards. So today's class is going to be pretty gentle, really mellow, and I thought we could kind of have a theme around healing, just healing our body, healing our minds, just softening our entire experience with everything that's going on around us. We can just start by finding the breath and letting ourselves just settle into this space right here. Oh, and there's a quote I was going to read. I almost forgot. So speaking on this theme of healing, I found this quote by Eckhart Tolle that says, "The more consciousness you bring into the body, the stronger the immune system becomes. It is as if every cell awakens and rejoices. The body loves your attention. It is also a potent form of self-healing." So again, we're just going to kind of hold that as our intention for today, bringing our awareness to the body, allowing that to transform our experience, and get into a space where healing happens. So keeping your hands at your knees, you can also just let your eyes stay closed, or you can have just a gentle gaze. We're going to inhale and lean forward, and then as you exhale, just circle around. So we're going to go around about 5 times each direction. Just nice big torso circles. You do not have to move fast at all. Allow the exhales to be as you come through the back and inhaling forward. Maybe noticing little pops in the hips or the spine. And just waking up through that whole spinal column. And after you get around the next time, just stop and go back the other direction. Good. And just finishing up this second side, taking your time. And just coming on back to center. Let the shoulders roll back. Let the eyes close again. And just notice if there's been any sort of just a little shift. Just a little opening in the spine, or even just softening into the body. Give yourself these 90 minutes to just reconnect inward. So let's take just a few more stretches while we're here. Take your left hand down, and you can let the right arm reach up and just sink on over to that side. If you want, you can bend that right elbow and just kind of open up, or maybe circle the wrist around. And then just gently coming back up and switching sides, doing the same thing, other direction. Just explore, be curious, get into your body here. And then we're going to come back up, and that left hand can come behind you and your right hand can come to your knee. Just let yourself sit nice and tall and gently wring yourself out into a twist. And then keeping your right hand on that knee, take the left arm up, and we're just going to sink over that right thigh. And then you can just bring yourself back up. Again, just taking that twist for an extra breath. And you can slowly release and just switch sides. Right hand behind you, left hand to the knee. First, just taking a few breaths, finding that twist from the navel. And then that right arm can come on up and just sinking over that left thigh. And again, just gently bringing yourself up and out. And then coming on back to center. And you can take a few shoulder rolls if you wish here. Good. All right, so we're going to set up for our first pose, which is going to be butterfly. So this is a yin pose. I like to have a block. You might want to have a bolster out in front of you as an option. You can just have everything kind of around within reaching distance. And again, you might like to sit up on a little bit of a blanket here just to raise the hips a little bit higher than where the feet are. So it's your option today. You can have a big diamond shape, or you can have the feet in closer. It's up to you. If this is uncomfortable in your body, you can also place pillows or 2 blocks underneath the knees or the thighs. Just finding what works for you. So again, this is a yin posture. We're just finding that first edge of the body and then sitting there with it. So you might just be sitting right here, or you might be coming forward a little bit. And just let yourself settle into wherever works for you. It doesn't have to look the way that I'm doing it here. So if you have your bolster, you might bring your forearms to it. And if you've got your block, you might bring your forehead to it. Again, we're just finding that first edge. We're going to be here for a handful of minutes, so you don't want to be pushing it too far. And you also want to be finding an enjoyable challenge in the body. And then you can also notice as time goes on, you can start sinking in a little bit deeper. So when we practice yin, we are not forcing anything. We're taking things to that gentle edge. We're opening up the connective tissues in the body, and we're getting into that space, and then we're just letting time pass, letting our body sink into it. If there's ever any sharp pain, or if it doesn't feel right in your body, definitely come out. You do not have to force anything. And again, once we get here, we just stay still. We just let time pass. We let the breath help us. And when you start noticing some resistance in the body, that gives you something to work with. So you can either realize that you might be in too deep, and that's a sign to come out a little bit. Or maybe that's an invitation to just be with any sensation and just to allow. This is a beautiful practice for developing resilience off the mat. Because when we learn to cultivate it on the mat, we notice its effects in other aspects of our lives. So as we're here, we might find a little smile on the face, maybe some softening in the forehead or jaw. Maybe letting the breath deepen. And again, just notice if the body is able to sink in a little bit deeper. We'll be here for about 1 more minute. So for the next few seconds, or before we start to come on out, I like to just play around with a little bit of a swaying side to side. Just beginning to bring a little bit of movement into the body, noticing how that feels in the hips. And just take your time slowly walking yourself up. We can come out of this really, really slow. So as you come on out, you can just lean on back, slowly let the knees come together, and just take your feet kind of wide. And you can take some little windshield wipers side to side. Let yourself move really slow once again. You probably feel a little creaky. Just take the time. So we're letting that blood flow back into those areas. There's no need to move quickly as we do any transitions here. Oh, hi, Linda. I see you there. Oh, and Catherine Rossi is on here now, too. Welcome. If anybody else is new that I missed, welcome. All right, so we're going to stay seated. If you want, you can stay up on your little bolster here. We're just going to be taking the legs wide now and just doing the same thing, a little bit of a forward fold. So you might just be starting just right here. Again, we're starting by finding that gentle edge in the body. And you want to perhaps start leaning forward, but just honoring where you are at and where your body is at. And you might find that you're just starting with your hands on the ground with a little bit of a lean forward. I like to find kind of a hinge in the hips, so it's not the spine rounding as you go forward. It's like a lengthening from the tailbone through the crown of the head and then that fold forward. And again, If you have a pillow or a bolster or something, you can have that out in front of you, resting on that, maybe on the forearms. If you wish, you can even have it all the way out in front of you and laying down on it. Or you might use a block like I had been using with my forehead on it. It's taking yourself, finding that first edge, and then settling in. Those of you that might be using a block like I am, if you have a little eye pillow, it's a nice little trick to place the eye pillow on the block. If you're going to be bringing your forehead to it, it softens everything up. Blocks can get kind of hard, so take the time to settle in here, find the edge, and then just be still and let time pass. So in yoga, we have two different types of practices, essentially. There are practices that are called because practices, and then there's despite practices. So because practices are like restorative, or Yoga Nidra is a because practice. We do it because it facilitates relaxation in the body. And then we also have the despite practices, which is Yin and some other forms of physical yoga, where we are really kind of creating some tension or putting ourselves in a place that might not be totally comfortable so that we can learn how to become comfortable in it. And they're both really valuable ways of practicing yoga, but each is a little different from each other. So we're kind of playing around with both despite and because today. So right now we're still in the despite aspect, maybe taking it a little further on your next exhale. Letting the breath continue to flow. Noticing if there's more room to sink down further, or if you are good right where you are. Finding that edge and then just sitting with it. So just allowing the body to continue opening as time passes. We'll just spend about 1 more minute here. Maybe that's an opportunity to see if there's more space to sink into. And always, as we're doing these practices, just honor where your body is at. It doesn't have to look the way that mine is doing it here. Our goal is to find that healing and that connection with our own body. And for the next few breaths, just starting, maybe a little swaying side to side, only if that feels good for you. And just taking your time, slowly walking yourself up and out. And again, there is no rush. Let slowness be a part of this experience. Maybe starting to bend one knee at a time, bringing your feet down, coming back to those windshield wipers. Maybe it just feels good just to let the knees fall in against each other, letting those inner thighs rest. Letting your body move the way that feels good for it. Good. All right, so we've done 2 yin poses. Now we're going to transition to a few restorative poses. So taking things towards the because practice. So let's get our bolster or pillows or couch cushions, whatever situation you have, create something that looks kind of like this. You can even roll blankets together. And I'm just going to have that down on my mat. Now I've got some blankets down on top of my mat. If you aren't on a soft surface, you can always put a blanket down or just a little something for underneath your knees here. And we're going to place our block, or you can do a pillow or something along the far end. So basically you want kind of a little ramp of your bolster. And we'll be doing a child's pose on it. But first, let's just come to our hands and knees. And again, feel free to place something underneath your knees just to soften it up. Just creating a really nice soft experience for your body this afternoon. So we're just going to start by just doing some little movements. So there's just the regular cat-cows where we round and then arch the spine. You could do those. You can also do some big circles with your hips back to your heels. We're just kind of letting the spine undulate a little bit. Give yourself about 10 breaths to just move organically here. Do what your body feels like doing. And if you're somebody that's on a computer a lot, it can also feel good to turn the hands so your wrists are forward and just sink back, stretching out through the wrists. Again, just letting yourself do what your body's craving. And making sure you even out both sides. Give yourself a few more breaths here. And then we're going to get nice and cozy. So I'm going to pull this a little closer to me. Main thing is to make sure that your whole torso is supported as we settle in here. So I like to take my knees off to the side. So I'm not sitting on it, but I'm right up against it here. And then just leaning on down. So I'm going to have my head turned one direction. I'll let you know when we're halfway through, then you can turn your head the other way. If this is harsh on the knees, you can place a blanket or something in between the back of the thigh and the lower leg. That can help a little bit here. If you wish to do this without the block underneath the bolster, that's fine too, so you're down a little further. And if you do have a block here and there's that gap underneath, you could even hug around the pillows or the bolster that you have here. Main thing is just to get nice and cozy, nice and supportive. Let the eyes close, just sigh it out. And just let your body deeply surrender. And as you lay here, you might notice the breath, feeling the belly press against the support below you. And you can also feel yourself breathing into the back body. Maybe a little smile comes to the face once again. And we're consciously creating peace in the body here. And for the next few breaths, let yourself breathe a little deeper. You can even open up the mouth, gently sigh it out. Just letting the body deflate. And then on an inhale, you can lift your head, turn it the other direction, make any other little adjustments that feel right, and just settle back in. Really letting everything just slow down today. As you're laying here, if you start to notice your mind beginning to do what it does, just come back to the breath. A quote that I read earlier by Eckhart Tolle about consciously bringing awareness to the body to create that healing effect. Let yourself take about 10 more breaths here. And for the last few breaths, you can come back to some nice deep breaths in, just gently sighing it out. And just like when we were coming out of those yin poses, just take your time. You can bring your hands down. Slowly just start to press yourself up. And we can come back to tabletop here. So just walking yourself back. We're going to be leaving our props as they are. So just walk yourself back from there, and you might really feel the need to straighten one leg at a time. So you can do that, bringing your toes to the ground and then just pressing into the heel. We'll spend about a minute here. Just again, come back to doing any movements that just your body organically feels like doing. And you might even take a downward dog here. You probably feel like straightening out your legs in some sort of way. Maybe some cat cows once again, or just some undulations in the spine. Do whatever your body's asking for. And it can be kind of nice just to circle the ankles around as well, just lifting your feet up and kind of kicking the lower legs a little side to side. All right. So from here, we're going to settle into Supta Baddha Konasana and take the time to get really, really comfortable with this. So we've got our bolster here. An additional thing I like to do is to take a blanket and throw it up over the top, so I have a little support underneath my neck and head. And also, if you have any sort of like an eye pillow or towel you'd like to place over your eyes, that's good here too. We're just going to be turning, sitting right up against our prop here. So this can be a couch cushion or a stack of pillows if you don't have a bolster. And then just make sure that you're fully supported, so the whole spinal column, there's no gaps in between your body and what we're laying back on here. And then if you've got that blanket, you can settle that in. And you've got several options for the legs. So, and you might want to play around with all of them. We'll be here for about 10 minutes. So really take the time to settle in and get comfortable. If you want, you can have your feet together and the knees falling open. If you need some support under each leg to make that comfortable, you can do that. You can also just simply have the legs straight out in front of you, or you can have your feet on the ground wide with the knees falling in against each other. So just taking the time to settle in the way that works best for you. Again, remembering this is a because practice. We're not trying to force anything. We're trying to get as comfortable as possible so we can truly let go. And again, if you would like a little covering over the eyes, you can feel free to do that there. And then once you get yourself situated, let's just lift the arms up, circle the wrists around a little bit. Before we get still, we're just going to do a few little stretches here. And we're just going to give ourselves a little hand massage. So you can just kind of rest your arms wherever is comfortable. And then just using your right hand, you can start massaging into the left palm. I like to go along each bone in the palm and then start going out through each finger. If you have any essential oil nearby, it's also kind of nice to put a drop or two before you do this. And just doing this on both hands. It doesn't have to look any certain way, but it's something kind of nice to do for ourselves. And just finishing up at your own pace, maybe circling the wrists, maybe one little stretch or really opening up and just letting the arms fall down by the sides. Just getting nice and comfortable. And just sigh it out. Let yourself simply lay here and relax. So you are all going to stay in this pose. I'm going to sit up and just guide you through a little exercise of a light moving through your body. So just stay laying back and comfortable. And now let your attention rest on each body part as I name it. Starting by imagining a soft, glowing light on the crown of your head. And feel a warm light washing over the muscles of the face, softening the skin. Shining down over the throat and warming the tops of the shoulders. Radiating down the arms and over the palms of the hands. A soft glow over the chest, belly, and pelvis. Illuminating the thighs, knees, and shins. Light cascading over the ankles, over the tops of the feet, and through the tips of the toes. Feel the whole body from the crown of the head down to the tips of the toes. Feel the whole body surrounded by light. And now letting the warmth and the glow from the light melt the entire body. Heaviness in the heels, all tension draining out. The calves melting and surrendering. The legs relaxed and empty of any holding. The back of the body, arms, and the backs of the hands melting, tension leaving the body. And the back of the head resting and relaxed. Tension melting away from the whole back body. The whole body softening and surrendering. Just allowing the whole body to rest. The whole body. So we still have a few minutes here. If there's any change that you wish to make to your positioning, maybe changing up the leg, feel free. Maybe allowing a little smile again to come back to the face, just letting yourself be easy here. Maybe sighing it out. And you can slowly just let the head start to turn side to side. You can let the eyes stay closed. Maybe wiggle a little bit into the fingers and toes. And from here, we're going to take a little 5-minute break. So if you are super comfortable and if you just wish to stay like this for the next few minutes, feel free. We are going to be coming back and doing a Yoga Nidra meditation, and a few of you are new in class, so that's a sleep-based meditation. So what you want to be doing is just getting into a really nice cozy spot laying on your back. So if you have a bolster or your pillows or something, you can place those under your knees. That's a nice way to do it. Maybe just a pillow under your head or just something soft. And so just give yourself the next 5 minutes to go get a drink of water or something if you need to also, or just stay still. And I will see you back here very shortly. Anybody has any questions? I unplugged my microphone so I can hear you. So if you need to ask anything, or if my video's not on. There we go. All right, so I'll see you back in just a few minutes. Okay, I am back and I can't see anybody, but if my microphone isn't working, please let me know. All right, so take the time to Set yourself up for ultimate comfort here. Place something over your eyes if you wish. Oh, there's Letty. Hi. All right. So if you're not laying, okay. If you're not laying down already, go ahead, lay down. We are going to be doing our Yoga Nidra for healing the body. And our intention for today is I reconnect with my inner source of healing and surround those areas in my body in need of healing. So take the time to get supremely comfortable. And before we get totally still, let's just do a really long stretch together. So you can reach your arms on the ground overhead and just circle the wrists around. You can circle the ankles around, point and flex the feet, maybe grab an opposite wrist and tug side to side, or intertwine the fingers and just press through the palms. Just take some nice deep breaths into the body as you stretch here. And then you can let your arms come back down by your sides. Shake them out a little bit, shake the legs out a little bit. And again, you're just trying to get yourself as comfortable as possible, so you ideally do not have to move throughout the rest of this meditation. So let yourself just take a few nice deep breaths in through the nose, open up the mouth and just sigh it out. And again, in through the nose. And exhale, just sigh it out. And now close your eyes and quiet your mind. And be still. Let go of any thoughts, any worry or tension. Begin to feel a deep sense of contentment and peace in your heart. Now allow yourself to bring the following intention into your awareness, letting your whole body hear it. I reconnect with my inner source of healing and surround those areas in my body in need of healing. And now imagine a stone resting in your hand. Notice how heavy the stone is and what it feels like. And just feel and sense the stone in the palm of the hand. And now notice if the stone naturally remains in your hand or if it instinctively rests in another part of your body. And if it rests elsewhere, where is that in the body? And just notice what it feels like. Just being aware of it. And breathe into that area, using the breath to be with what is there. Just letting it be as it is. And simply observe what you are aware of now. If the feeling of the stone has moved at all, stay with it. Not trying to avoid any part of the experience, just letting it be fully felt. Giving it full permission to be. Just experiencing it without trying to change anything. Letting it be as it is. And simply observe what you are aware of now. And create space for what's there. Not resisting anything. Cultivating a sense of relaxation in the midst of all of it. Be soft, spacious, and at ease. Continuing to breathe with what is present here. Making space for it all to be. And simply observe what you are aware of now. If the sensation moves or changes, follow it patiently, staying with the process. Being curious about what you are feeling. And notice what happens in the body as you remain present, relaxed, and connected. Continuing to use your breath and attention to be with it all, just as it is. Making space for it all to be. And now drop below whatever is happening into a space of silence. As we enter further into Yoga Nidra, any releases, shifts, or changes that need to take place will happen spontaneously and effortlessly. Now let go of any need to make anything happen. And acknowledge that it is time for your body to deeply, deeply rest. And now follow my guidance as we take 3 deep breaths. Let's inhale together. At the top of the inhale, gently hold the breath in, closing off the throat. And then when prompted by the inner urge of the body, release the breath, slow and steady. And then just breathe normally. And taking our second breath now, inhaling together. At the top of the inhale, holding the breath in, gently closing off the throat. And allow some tension to build, holding a bit longer, but without struggle. And when prompted by the body, release the breath fully, expelling from the body whatever it no longer needs. Again, just breathe normally, feeling deep-seated tensions leaving your body with the breath. And taking our third collective breath now, all inhaling together. At the top of the inhale, holding the breath in, gently closing off the throat. And holding even longer now, but without strain. Just be a neutral observer of your experience. And when the body prompts you, release the breath, breathing it all out. Letting it all go until there's nothing left. Until you are completely empty and open. Now just breathe normally. Simply allow the breath to rise and then fall in its own rhythm. And the breath becoming progressively quieter and more still until it is almost impossible to detect. And now bring your attention to your face. And with your next exhale, allow all expression to drop from the face. Releasing the tiny muscles around the eyes. And the tiny muscles around the mouth. And the tongue resting in the mouth. And the lower jaw gently opening and softening. Feeling the cheeks softening towards the floor. The scalp resting on the skull. And the neck softening and easing. Simply be available to the entire range of sensations in the face and in the head. Now drop into a sense of your whole bodily presence. Embrace this present moment's experience, undistorted by what you like or don't like. Let go of what is going, and let come that which is coming. This becomes your connection to the source within. Now feel yourself descending down into the stillness that lies beneath the mind. Allow the mind to dissolve into bodily presence and expand your sensitivity to any areas that are depleted or starved of energy. Let go, and then let go even more. Now, as we enter into this next phase of Yoga Nidra, remain as motionless as possible. Resolve to remain gently awake and aware, staying in touch with the sound of my voice. Allow your entire body to respond to my words directly and non-mentally. In Yoga Nidra, we enter into the subconscious energy field. Let your mind merge and melt, going beyond the boundaries of body and of mind. Now make a shift from thinking and doing to feeling and being. Do absolutely nothing from now on. Simply relax. And drop into the deepest state of tranquility, stillness, and peace. Now follow my guidance as we begin the relaxation breath. Breathing in deeply, fill your lungs from bottom to top, as if you're filling a water bottle. And as you breathe out, empty your lungs from top to bottom. Let your breath be slow and steady, observing the movement of your abdomen and chest as you continue to breathe. Let this entire process of breathing be the vehicle for deepening your relaxation. Now slowly begin to deepen your inhales and your exhales, allowing the exhales to be longer than the inhales. Let the flow of your breath be steady and uniform as much as possible. With each breath in, fill every nerve and cell with a pulsing, healing energy. And with each breath out, release any tension held in the body and any anticipations in the mind. Let go. And now bring your attention to the pulsing energy field felt in the form of sensations in the body. And observe how your attention feeds the expansion of the energy field. Energy follows attention. Feel all the tension in your mind and tightness in your muscles melt away with each outgoing breath. Now just be still. Drop into that silent space where all doing stops. Let go. And then let go even more. Enter into an effortless state of being. Now follow my guidance as we move our attention through different points on the body. Let your detached attention release the dormant healing power trapped in the meridians and connected organs to carry out the healing from within. As I guide you from point to point, remain in a non-doing, silent awareness. And resolve to yourself that you will stay alert and awake. And now bring your undivided attention to the space between the eyebrows, the third eye. The pit of the throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, pit of the throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, pit of the throat. middle of the chest, right side of the chest, middle of the chest, left side of the chest, middle of the chest, navel point, middle of the pubic bone, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, middle of the pubic bone, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, middle of the pubic bone, navel point, middle of the chest, pit of the throat, and back to the brow center, the third eye. Gather all of your attention at the brow center and let the non-doing presence fully manifest. Observe the vast stillness and silence that resides here. And resting in this vastness, allow whatever comes into your field of awareness to be present without comment or judgment. Witness it as it floats by like clouds in the sky. Now give yourself the permission to enter into the deepest level of relaxation right now. Let go. There is nothing to do or to achieve. Dissolve and disappear into stillness. Sensations, thoughts, and images all floating by, just like clouds on a clear blue sky. Letting it all gather and then dissipate and come and go. Simply be the space in which it is all happening. Now here your intentions and your affirmations are actualized and fulfilled with an effortless ease. Allow yourself to receive the following intention, letting your whole body listen. I reconnect with my inner source of healing. and surround those areas in my body in need of healing. I reconnect with my inner source of healing and surround those areas in my body in need of healing. I reconnect with my inner source of healing, and I surround those areas in my body in need of healing. Allow this intention to go to the deepest levels of recognition with no hesitation. There is no need for you to do anything. Now bring your attention back to the space between the eyebrows and feel all the energies of your body from all meridians activated, purified, and balanced. All channels are open and the life force is flowing freely, healing the body and calming the mind. Open your heart and feel content and just experience this. At this sacred moment, your whole being has made a major paradigm shift. Establish yourself in total trust and faith that remains free from any need to be in control. Feel totally unburdened and free to move through life with an effortless ease. Feel the presence of your higher self guide, protect, and bless you. Feel energy and grace fill you and surround you at all times. And do not hesitate, doubt, or dispute it. Just let it come naturally. Now, very, very slowly, begin to become aware of the rising and the falling of the breath. Just noticing yourself beginning to rise to the surface of awareness, knowing that there is no rush here. You can sense your body resting on the floor and noticing the quality of the air as you breathe. And gradually you can begin little movements as if you're waking up from a restful sleep. If the impulse is simply to remain as you are, feel free. But if you do wish to begin to move, just taking your time, moving slowly, maybe circling the wrists and ankles or taking a long stretch with the arms overhead. taking your time. And if you do wish to move, you may gently roll onto your right hand side, curling up into a cozy little ball. Continue to rest here and feel the safety, the comfort, and the protection of the womb of existence. And once again, allow yourself to receive our intention for today. I reconnect with my inner source of healing and surround those areas in my body in need of healing. Every time you find yourself in reaction, you are empowered to replace it with your intention. Now, if you wish to continue moving, you may gradually bring yourself back up to seated, just taking your time and being mindful of your movements. Let the eyes stay closed, let your attention stay inward. And just take the left hand to the heart, bring the right hand over the left. Notice the gentle, soft qualities of the body and of the mind after this practice. And just make a vow to yourself that this centered, grounded, connected space will stay with you long after you get off of the yoga mat. So thank you everybody so much for joining me this afternoon. The light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys. If anybody wishes to say anything, you can unmute yourself. If you're just really chill and you just want to stay that way, that's fine too. Well, thank you everyone. And so once again, we'll have class on the 13th and 20th of September. And I'll send out an email with links to that. So I love you all and I miss you.
Thank you, Julie.
And thank you, Jojo.
Thanks, Julie.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
Julie.
You guys.
Love
Great.
you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Good seeing you, Letty. All right,
Thank you, love. Thank you, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Bye.
End the meeting. So I know it feels shocking sometimes, but everybody who's still sitting here, I love you all.